We're here to discuss a significant, often overlooked market, rural real estate. This market remains largely uncharted, presenting both challenges and immense opportunities. We'll explore how technology has transformed urban real estate, but rural land still operates in a fragmented, opaque environment. This lack of transparency creates friction and risk for buyers and sellers alike. We'll uncover the strategic implications of this unmapped territory. Let's look at how this contrasts with other real estate sectors. While residential real estate achieved digital transparency, rural land markets remain a chaotic frontier. Platforms like Zillow have commoditized single-family homes with near-perfect information. But raw land, like farms and ranches, remains opaque and highly inefficient. Land.com dominates the space as a lead generation billboard, but it fails as a transaction-enabling ecosystem. It provides visibility without the verification or analysis tools needed to convert raw acreage into viable assets. This fundamental difference creates a significant digital divide. And this divide stems from Land.com's core architecture. Land.com's architecture reveals fundamental limitations, functioning primarily as a top-of-funnel aggregator for brokers, not buyers. Its business model serves the sell side, with agents paying subscription fees to list inventory. The search interface is rudimentary, offering only basic criteria like location and price. This creates a false equivalence problem, where two vastly different 10-acre parcels appear identical. The platform lacks granular data standardization, making it a black box. This architecture leaves buyers vulnerable, as we'll see when we examine specific user personas. Building on Land.com's limitations, we see how it struggles to serve diverse buyer intents with a one-size-fits-all interface. We've identified 3 distinct user personas, each with unique unmet needs. The recreational buyer, or weekend warrior, seeks land for hunting and camping, but needs legal access verification. The homesteader, or lifestyle shifter, requires biophysical data like soil composition and water availability. And the small-scale investor, or arbitrage seeker, struggles with valuation due to sparse comparable sales. These unmet needs highlight critical can't-do gaps in the current marketplace. These critical can't-do gaps leave buyers vulnerable, as the platform exits the user journey at the point of inquiry, abandoning them during crucial due diligence. First, the legal access void means listings often mask landlocked properties, leading to costly lawsuits. Second, the zoning black box relies on vague agent descriptions, leaving buyers unaware of prohibited uses. Third, the physical feasibility gap means missing data on soil, water, and slope, making buildability uncertain. Finally, a trust deficit creates fraud vulnerability, with no rigorous identity verification for sellers. These gaps create a significant manual burden for buyers, which we'll explore next. The critical gaps we just discussed create a massive burden for buyers. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a 100-step checklist of manual, fragmented, and error-prone tasks. Buyers become archaeologists, digging through layers of obfuscation to find the truth about a property. This leads to what we call lead fatigue, where users inquire about dozens of properties only to find most are unsuitable. The fundamental mismatch between search criteria and actual decision criteria degrades lead quality for sellers and erodes trust in the marketplace. So, what happens when buyers try to bridge these gaps themselves? When buyers hit these roadblocks, they turn to a fragmented ecosystem of specialized tools. These tools act as sidecars, filling specific voids but never providing a complete solution. We see mobile mapping apps for property lines, parcel data aggregators for ownership info, and even niche zoning tools. But each of these addresses only a sliver of the problem. They offer partial solutions, creating a disjointed and inefficient user experience. This patchwork approach highlights the desperate need for a more integrated solution. And that's where AI comes in. AI is a game changer, transforming due diligence from a manual slog into automated intelligence. We're talking about compressing weeks of research into minutes. Imagine an AI zoning analyst that can ingest dense municipal documents and answer specific queries with citations in seconds. Or computer vision models that instantly classify land cover and calculate buildable percentages from satellite imagery. finally, AI-powered automated valuation models can predict a property's true utility value, helping investors spot undervalued assets. These aren't futuristic concepts. They're here now, and they unlock incredible opportunities. These AI capabilities lead us directly to 4 pre-validated SaaS opportunities that address critical pain points. These aren't just ideas. They're solutions users are explicitly asking for. First, LandLock tackles the terror of buying landlocked property with automated title and access verification. Then, PermitPal uses conversational AI to clarify rural zoning for niche uses like tiny homes. Cost to connect reveals hidden infrastructure expenses, giving buyers a true total cost. And finally, ScoutSync leverages a gig economy model for on-demand, verified site visits. These opportunities represent clear pathways to market leadership. Now, let's talk about how we operationalize this intelligence. The War Council framework provides a structured approach to achieving information dominance before you acquire any asset. Our objective is clear: secure high-value land while preserving capital, knowing more about the asset than the seller does. This framework outlines 4 critical roles, each with a specific mandate to scrutinize every aspect of a potential acquisition. We start with the scout, who distrusts listing photos and uses advanced geospatial tools to verify terrain and access. Then, the legalist ensures we avoid regulatory traps by meticulously analyzing zoning codes and deed restrictions. The engineer quantifies hidden development premiums, calculating infrastructure costs and soil viability. Finally, the skeptic provides crucial risk management, identifying social risks and questioning why an asset remains on the market. This integrated approach moves us from reactive problem-solving to proactive strategic intelligence. And this strategic intelligence is exactly what creates an advantage in a market rife with inefficiency. The War Council framework, then, is our strategic weapon in a market that is fundamentally inefficient. This inefficiency, driven by most buyers making emotional decisions, creates significant arbitrage opportunities for those who are data-driven. We see a market where lazy or ill-equipped buyers inadvertently create pricing inefficiencies, and that's where we step in. Our strategy is to deploy the War Council framework and the SaaS tools we've discussed to filter out the noise and move from guessing to verifying. We build a competitive moat through superior intelligence gathering, transforming ourselves from gamblers into strategic operators. While Land.com dominates inventory, it remains a pauper in intelligence. The future of this industry belongs to tools that layer intelligence onto raw inventory, protecting buyers and unlocking true land value. This creates a sustainable competitive advantage. So, how do we bring all of this together? We've covered a lot of ground today, and the key takeaway is this: the rural land market is ripe for technological intervention. Land.com provides visibility without verification, leading to massive friction. We've identified 3 distinct user personas with unmet needs and 4 critical gaps that expose buyers to significant risks. But we also know that AI and geospatial technologies can compress weeks of manual due diligence into minutes of automated intelligence. And we've highlighted 4 pre-validated SaaS opportunities with explicit user demand. The strategic implications are clear. The gap between listing and closing is a massive opportunity. Market inefficiency rewards information dominance, and the integration of AI, GIS, and verified identity layers will define the next generation of platforms. So, here's our call to action. For investors, evaluate these SaaS opportunities. For buyers, deploy the War Council framework. And for innovators, build the due diligence engine the market desperately needs.